All right, let's embark on a fascinating journey today. We're diving deep into Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. It's a book that's really shaped millions of lives.
It really has.
And for this deep dive, we're using specific excerpts from the original ebook, so we get direct access to those foundational principles.
Yeah, straight from the source.
Our mission, really, is to pull out the most powerful insights, understand Hill's core philosophy, and, see how these kind of timeless ideas can be applied in your life right now to hit those definite goals you have.
And it's important to say, this isn't just a book about getting rich, like piling up cash.
Right.
Hill presents it as this whole philosophy for individual achievement.
Okay.
And it came out of over 25 years of really meticulous research. He analyzed the habits, the mindsets of more than 500 of America's most successful people back then.
Wow, 25 years.
Yeah, and the whole thing was actually inspired by Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate. After he made his fortune, he wanted to sort of codify and share what he called the astounding secret of his riches. Share it with the world.
And the scale of that initial research is just striking, isn't it?
It really is.
Hill himself apparently estimated it would cost, over $100,000 to duplicate today?
That's his figure, yeah. And that's before a single word of the book was even written.
Just incredible. And this philosophy, it claims to be the shortest dependable philosophy of individual achievement ever presented. Big claim.
Huge claim. But specifically for someone with a definite purpose. A clear goal.
So what does this blueprint, this extraordinary plan actually mean for you listening right now? We're going to explore its 13 key principles.
15 steps, yeah.
And look at some compelling stories Hill uses and discover how they promise to unlock your potential for riches. But in the broadest sense, right?
Exactly. Financial, spiritual, mental, material. The whole package.
Okay, so where do we start? What's principle number 2?
Absolutely. Well, the foundation, the spark that really ignites everything else is desire.
Desire, okay.
But Hill stresses it's not just, a wish or a hope. It has to be a burning desire.
A burning desire. What does that mean exactly?
He puts it this way. Weak desires bring weak results. Just like a small fire gives off very little heat.
Makes sense.
Think of Edwin C. Barnes. He had this absolutely undeniable, definite desire. Become Thomas Edison's business associate.
Right, the Edison story.
He shows up at Edison's lab looking, the book says, like a tramp.
Yeah.
But Edison apparently saw something in his face. This absolute determination. He was going to get what he came for, no matter what.
So Barnes didn't just want it. He literally, thought himself into that partnership.
Pretty much. He started doing the most menial work there.
But crucially, he burned all his bridges behind him. He wasn't thinking, I'll try this for a bit and see.
No plan B.
His mindset was, I will be his associate. That's the core of this burning desire idea, isn't it? Leaving no way back.
Win or perish.
Yeah.
Like that warrior burning his ship.
Yeah. And that single-mindedness, that unwavering focus, it turned out to be worth millions for him.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, Barnes literally showed up with nothing to lose. How do you cultivate that level of commitment in a, let's say, less dramatic everyday situation? What are the mental bridges people usually fail to burn?
That's a really good question. I think in today's world, it means cutting out those fallback options that secretly allow you to accept failure.
Okay.
It's deciding your goal is just non-negotiable. Everything you do has to move you towards it.
So once you've got that burning desire lit, what's next?
He'll move straight to faith. That's the second step.
Faith.
And he defines it not as just passive belief, but as a state of mind you actively develop.
Willingly.
Primarily through autosuggestion, basically repeating affirmations to your subconscious mind.
Affirmations.
Hill's idea is that you eventually come to believe whatever you consistently tell yourself, whether it's true right now or not.
What I find really interesting here is Hill's idea that thoughts, especially when mixed with strong emotion like faith, they become a kind of magnetic force.
Right.
He writes that these emotionally charged thoughts attract similar thoughts from what he called the ether.
Yeah, the ether. Remember, he was writing when radio was this new marvel.
So it's like this invisible medium.
Exactly. He thought emotionally charged thoughts could sort of broadcast and pull in similar vibrations. It's maybe less literal magnetism and more about tuning your mental frequency,
Aligning your mind with what you want. And the subconscious mind, which he calls our chemical laboratory.
That's where the magic happens, according to Hill.
Yeah.
It translates these emotionalized thoughts into their physical counterpart.
There's that amazing example with Charles M. Schwab, right? And the creation of U.S. Steel.
Oh, absolutely. Schwab's huge idea for U.S. Steel started purely in his imagination.
Just an idea.
Just an idea.
Yeah.
But he mixed faith with it, made a detailed plan, put it into action with that famous speech he gave.
At the University Club.
That's the one. And he followed through with incredible persistence, firm decision, all backed by that burning desire.
And that one application of Hill's secret was valued at, what, $600 million back then?
Roughly, yeah. An astronomical sum. Hill's point is clear. All riches start as thought, and faith is what removes those perceived limits.
Which leads right into autosuggestion, the third principle.
Exactly. That's the tool for influencing your subconscious. But plain, unemotional words, they don't cut it.
You need feeling behind them.
You have to emotionalize your thoughts with belief, conviction, and your ability to use autosuggestion effectively really hinges on your power to concentrate on that one desire until it's like a burning obsession.
Hill even suggests visualizing the exact amount of money you want, seeing yourself already having it. It's like you're trying to trick your subconscious.
Oh, maybe trick isn't quite the word. It's more about bypassing the conscious mind's doubts.
Okay, bypassing the doubt.
By constantly feeding the subconscious the reality you want until it accepts it as fact and starts working to make it happen.
So you've got the desire, the faith, the autosuggestion working. The mental groundwork is laid. Where do the practical tools come in?
That brings us to specialized knowledge, the fourth principle.
Specialized knowledge, not just any knowledge.
No. Hill draws a really sharp line between general knowledge and specialized knowledge. He argues that general knowledge, even loads of it, isn't very useful for accumulating wealth.
Interesting.
Knowledge only becomes power, he says, when it's organized into definite plans of action and aimed at a definite end.
That explains why, as Hill points out, you might see, say, college professors with vast general knowledge, but maybe not much money.
Precisely. Their skill is often in acquiring and teaching knowledge, not necessarily organizing and applying it for wealth creation.
So what is education then, according to Hill?
It's fascinating. He says a truly educated person isn't defined by how much they know, but by how well they've developed their mind to acquire whatever they want or need without, trampling on others' rights.
And specialized knowledge itself, it's actually quite easy to get.
Relatively cheap, yeah. But its real value comes from applying it, using it.
You think about someone like Henry Ford. Famously didn't have much formal schooling.
Less than a sixth grade education, Hill notes.
Right. But he achieved massive success by specializing, applying knowledge specifically to mass production.
Exactly.
Okay, so specialized knowledge. What's next? Principle 5.
Imagination. Hill calls it the workshop of the mind.
The workshop of the mind. I like that.
He basically says that our only real limitation, within reason, is how well we develop and use our imagination.
And he breaks it down.
Into two forms, yeah. Synthetic imagination, which is like rearranging old ideas or concepts into new combinations, making new plans from existing stuff.
Okay, like building with existing blocks.
Right. And then there's creative imagination. This one, he says, kicks in when the conscious mind is vibrating really fast, usually stimulated by strong desire. It brings forth genuinely new ideas, hunches, inspiration.
It's where the breakthroughs happen.
That's the idea. Ideas are the starting point for all fortunes, and they always come from imagination.
He tells that story about the old kettle, right?
Yeah, the clerk who bought a simple formula. But it wasn't just the formula.
It was the idea he mixed with it. And his faith.
Exactly. That combination transformed a small southern town, apparently. Or think about Dr. Gonzalez.
The one who needed $1 million for college.
That's him. His desire became this consuming obsession. He preached a sermon titled, What I Would Do If I Had $1 Million.
And someone in the congregation,
J. Ogden Armour, the meatpacker, heard the sermon, was inspired by the idea and the passion, and gave him the money. That founded the Armour Institute of Technology.
Amazing. Just from an imagined idea spoken with passion. So from imagination, where does that lead?
To organized planning. Principle number 6. This is where you crystallize desire into actual, concrete action steps.
Making it real.
Your achievement, Hill insists, can be no greater than how sound your plans are, and crucially, when you hit temporary defeat, because you probably will.
Which happens.
The advice is, don't quit. Rebuild the plan. Set sail again.
It's about being resilient with your strategy.
Absolutely. Hill notes that most great fortunes actually started from people being paid for personal services
Yeah.
or from selling ideas. So having well-prepared plans to market yourself, your services, your ideas, that's huge.
He even questions that old advice about starting at the bottom.
Yeah, he argues it can kill ambition for some people.
Instead, if you plan carefully, like that woman who made a detailed plan book for her son.
Right, and the son landed a junior executive role right away at an executive salary. Skip maybe 10 years of climbing the ladder.
Or Dan Halpin, rising from salesman to VP because he refused to settle for a job he didn't truly want. He planned his way up.
Determination and planning. Which brings us neatly to step 7, a really critical one. Decision. Mastering procrastination.
Procrastination, the enemy of progress.
Exactly. Hill is blunt. People who make decisions quickly and definitely, they know what they want, and they generally get it.
An indecision.
He calls it a habit, often picked up young because he felt education systems didn't teach definite purpose enough.
He gives that powerful example. The signers of the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah. Talk about a definite decision. They staked their lives on it. For freedom.
And that collective, unwavering decision literally gave birth to a nation.
A profound example of the power of decision. Building right on that, Principle 8 is persistence.
Okay, decision then, persistence. Makes sense.
It's the sustained effort you need to actually induce faith, to keep going.
It's carrying out the plan even when things get tough, when you face obstacles, temporary setbacks.
That's where so many people fall down, Hill argues. Without persistence, desire is just a wish.
It's the grit, the follow-through.
It's the vital ingredient that turns that burning desire into reality. Think back to Edwin Barnes again.
Right, he persisted for years doing basic jobs before his chance with Edison came.
His desire was backed up by just unwavering persistence.
So, persistence. Then what?
Then we get to the power of the mastermind. Principle 9.
The mastermind. What's the definition here?
It's the coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony between two or more people, all working towards a definite purpose.
Okay, teamwork, basically.
Yes, but Hill emphasizes the spirit of harmony. And he argues no individual can achieve great power without leveraging this. It's not just about economic benefits either.
There's more to it.
He talks about a psychic phase, where these coordinated minds somehow generate more thought energy together than they would alone.
Like a synergy.
Yeah, he believed it wasn't just combining intellects. There's this almost intuitive connection, where new ideas spark that wouldn't have otherwise.
He mentions Henry Ford again here, doesn't he?
Famously. Ford allied himself with other great minds. Edison, Firestone, Burroughs, Burbank.
Absorbing their knowledge, their collective strength.
Exactly, using the mastermind principle. From there, we move to maybe one of the more intriguing principles. Number 10, the mystery of sex transmutation.
Okay, that title definitely catches the attention. What's Hill getting at here?
He suggests that the powerful energy associated with the sex drive, if it's consciously redirected, transmuted.
Meaning changed or channeled.
Right. Channeled away from purely physical expression into creative or constructive outlets. It can become this incredibly potent force for achievement.
So taking that raw primal energy and using it differently.
He viewed it as this sort of divine or creative force. If you harness it, it could elevate your thinking, your actions to extraordinary levels, especially boosting imagination and perseverance.
Transforming raw energy into a higher gear of motivation.
Interesting. Okay. Principle 11. The subconscious mind. We touched on this earlier with autosuggestion.
Right, the chemical laboratory.
Hill sees it as this vast, powerful engine. It acts on the thoughts you impress upon it, especially the ones charged with emotion.
And it doesn't judge.
Makes no distinction. Constructive, destructive. It just works with whatever it's fed consistently.
So it really responds to your dominant beliefs, desires, your persistent thoughts, good or bad.
Precisely. Which connects to Principle 12, the brain.
The brain itself.
Hill describes it as both a broadcasting and a receiving station for thought.
Like a radio.
That was his analogy, yeah. Drawing on work with people like Alexander Graham Bell and Elmer Gates, he suggested our brains can pick up thought vibrations released by other brains through that ether again.
So our minds are constantly influencing and being influenced.
That was his theory, influenced by the science of his time. Think of it maybe less literally now and more as a metaphor for how shared beliefs, collective consciousness, and influence work.
Okay. That leaves one more, Principle 13.
The sixth sense, which Hill also connects back to creative imagination.
The sixth sense. intuition.
Essentially, yes. He describes it as the direct link between our finite mind and what he calls infinite intelligence.
Infinite intelligence, like a universal consciousness.
Something like that. Ideas, hunches, flashes of inspiration. They come through this faculty, especially when the mind is stimulated, vibrating at a higher rate.
And the more you use it,
The more you trust it and rely on it, the more alert and receptive it becomes to these intuitive insights.
he shares that really fascinating practice of his own, doesn't he? His invisible counselors.
Oh yeah, his imaginary council meetings.
Yeah.
With figures like Emerson, Lincoln, Edison, Carnegie.
Wow. What did he do?
He'd concentrate, actually speak out loud, ask them for specific knowledge or character traits he admired in them.
Man.
He claimed they became apparently real in his mind, offering insights that genuinely surprised him. He felt this practice helped him rebuild his own character and deepen his understanding.
Quite a technique. So, okay, we've journeyed through these 13 core principles of Think and Grow Rich. From that essential burning desire to strategically coordinating with a mastermind and finally cultivating that intuitive sixth sense.
We've seen the stories, right? Edwin Barnes going from tramp to Edison's partner.
Charles Schwab's idea sparking U.S. Steel. These principles are woven into these huge success stories.
Definitely. And while Hill is obviously focused on the path to riches, he also implicitly flags the common roadblocks, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does talk about failure quite a bit.
Indecision, doubt, fear.
Mm-hmm.
He presents them as these really insidious internal barriers, the things that stop people.
And he emphasizes that most of these causes of failure, he lists like 30 of them. They're within your control.
Right. The book basically argues, look, where you are right now, it's largely down to your own conduct, your habits.
Success and failure are results of habit.
To a large extent, yeah. And he insists that money consciousness, that mindset of expecting and attracting wealth, it has to be cultivated. It doesn't just happen.
And that famous line, every failure brings with it the seed of an equivalent success.
You have to look for it, but it's there.
Now, the book also makes some specific social and economic points reflecting its time. For instance, stating that America provides all the freedom and all the opportunity to accumulate riches that any honest person may require.
Yes, that's a direct perspective from the text. He points to the huge economic activity back then. Women spending millions on cosmetics, people spending heavily on entertainment.
He saw it as evidence of a country just brimming with opportunity, enabled by what he called organized capital.
These are clearly Hill's observations and interpretations of the American economy of that era, rooted in his specific philosophy.
And reflecting that philosophy, he also gives a strong warning against a get-without-giving mentality.
He does. He warns specifically that riches cannot be accumulated by the mere act of men who organize themselves into groups and demand more pay for less service.
So demanding more without providing proportionate value, he saw that as unsustainable.
He stressed that the only dependable way to accumulate and legally hold on to riches is by rendering useful service. He even suggests that if a country adopts a widespread get-without-giving approach, what he calls the law of economics will eventually step in. Again, that's his framing.
Okay. So as you, listening, reflect on this deep dive into Think and Grow Rich, maybe consider this final provocative thought. If Hill's idea holds true, if every human brain is both a broadcasting and receiving station for the vibration of thought,
Right.
and if thoughts mixed with emotion become this magnetic force attracting similar thoughts, what are you consistently broadcasting? What signals are you sending out and receiving into your mind right now?
That's a powerful question.
And maybe more practically, what specific, tangible action, however small it seems, will you take today to deliberately start preparing your mind to attract the riches in that broad sense that you truly desire, instead of just passively accepting whatever comes your way?